What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. We're going to be working on something a little bit different today. Sorry, I got a little kitty here with me, distracting me. Instead of working on our usual project, I want to take an hour, maybe an hour, 15 minutes, just to work on... it's not explicitly a design test that I'm taking for a job or anything, but we're doing this because at work we have what's called the design paper of the week, and for this week's design paper we want to answer this question. Basically, follow this prompt and kind of design a high-level combat system based on the prompt. And then at work we're going to talk about our ideas and see how they differ, how they are the same, and kind of just talk it out for an hour at work. So I want to spend some time planning out my ideas here, maybe workshopping it with other people who are watching, and see what interesting things we can come up with. Okay, so now I got a kitty right in front of my mouse and everything, so this is going to be very difficult to maneuver. So the prompt is, it's a mid-level position design skill test, so it's about character design, and the context is that a creative director hands us the concept for the main hero of an action-adventure game named Chef Shed Casserole. The key art consists of the chef sitting in front of a fully stocked kitchen full of sharp and diverse cooking tools. During the game, the chef uses cooking implements as weapons and is accompanied by various cooking ingredients brought to life. So direction: design the core combat features of the chef along with 2 one-sentence theme proposals for their companions. So let's break this prompt down into different parts of it. So we know, for one, that our category is action adventure. All right, sorry, I gotta move around my kitty on the ground here. Here's so cute. So our category is action adventure. It is very hard to maneuver with a cat in the way here. So that's our category, right? So we know our character is a chef. So our character is a chef. Okay. My cat is maneuvering in very interesting ways. Okay, she's out of the way. You chill over here, boo-boo. So our character is a chef. What else do we know? So cooking implements as weapons. And they are accompanied by... Oh, we got a kitty again. And they're accompanied by cooking ingredients brought to life. So their companions are cooking ingredients. So we have to design the core combat features of the chef, along with 2 one-sentence theme proposals for their companions. Oh, boo. You want to be on camera, boo-boo? No, not on the keyboard. So here's the kitty I'm referring to, just so you guys know I'm not crazy. Boo-boo. You gotta get out of here. So, how I would imagine, obviously our genre is action adventure, so that kind of leaves some stuff open for interpretation in terms of like story and stuff like that, but we're really just going to be moving towards combat features. So what I'm thinking is, we need to... Oh, sorry. Hold on, getting messages. And Facebook acts so poorly on this computer. Maybe it's Opera, I don't know. Give me a second. So this is what we know. So cooking implements, let's talk about what those could possibly be. So knives, cutlery, and maybe depending on the enemy type, different knives or cutlery would work. So for example, we have, meat, and then we have fruits and vegetables. I don't like how it combines it as one word there. So fruits and vegetables. Oh my god, the cat's going crazy in the corner. Hopefully she doesn't destroy the plants. So fruit, vegetable, right? So maybe there's basically what I'm thinking is like the enemies in the environment can be like combined. So you would like in order to defeat an enemy, you have to kind of prepare them. And like how you prepare them is based on the utensils that you use in addition to your cooking ingredients as companions. And then when they're defeated, so basically instead of like a health bar or something, they could have some like preparedness. And that preparedness can go up faster if you prepare them correctly, and if you don't, maybe they go rotten, or I'm not sure exactly. So that's what I'm thinking right now. So obviously, let's again start with the cooking implements as weapons. So knives, cutlery. It would be cool to have like, a spatula. And a spatula can like flip them into the air. And when they're flipped in the air, you can like maybe do some certain things at that moment. So flips, ingredients. In air. And what I'm thinking is based on like the preparedness, your goal at the end of a given stage or something is to get like a Michelin star rating. So based on the quality of the food that you defeated along the way, you'll get graded, and based on that grade, you'll get a score, and maybe you need a certain score to pass like the level. Again, it's action adventure, so that's sort of tricky on how that could work. But at this point, we got to figure that out. So what I'm thinking is for companions, my first thought was like a salt and pepper, like shaker, like as one set of companions. I don't want there to be like salt as one companion and pepper as another companion. But maybe I could say like cooking ingredients, there could be like, I don't know, a generic seasoning companion. So like seasoning shelf or something. Where like it could be salt, it could be pepper, it could be like, I don't know, garlic powder, paprika, all these things. And you can kind of like based on the dish that your goal is to make, you kind of, because like ideally, like you would also have some sort of like recipe book. So recipe book, and the recipe book would tell you like, okay, you need to, have chopped up meat and cooked with these seasonings, and you can only apply seasonings when like the meat is under some sort of status effect, like crowd control CC'd, like while they're in the air, for example, as one thing. Like you flip the meat enemy in the air, you then tell the seasoning shelf to season it with like salt and pepper, and like then you can then use a knife to cut it up, or if you cut it up first, then you'll have to do like each chunk you need to like throw up with the spatula in order to season it. So it's better to first, somehow knock the meat down, flip them up, do all the seasonings and stuff like that. But yeah, so far that's my thinking. I gotta think a little bit more. Because like as a character, what can our character even do? We can run. I'd say we can jump. And because our character, I don't know if it says anything if our character is fat or not, It would be maybe interesting. We could say like the character, maybe you can choose your own character kind of thing, where you can have like a skinny chef or a fat chef, and depending on which one you choose, you get some sort of benefit, or you can't do certain things. So for example, if we have a fat chef, jump height is low, but can do a ground pound maneuver. So it can do a ground pound to flatten, meat fish. Because you know how you have to like take chicken sometimes to like beat it down flat before you can, season it and things like that. So maybe like that could be an explicit move set from the chef where they can just ground pound flatten the meat, whereas the skinny chef might need to use like a I guess meat hammer. I don't know what that stuff is called. I'll just say, I don't want to say meat hammer. I feel like that's dumb. Meat hammer. Tenderizer. Okay. Yeah, meat hammer. We can call it, I'll say AKA meat hammer. But yeah, cooking ingredients as companions. I feel like seasoning makes a lot of sense, just because that's like added little dashes and things like that. But what else could be like it's coming in clutch because I used to watch a lot of Food Network growing up, so I kind of have like a bank of sorry, I'm getting messages. Sorry. Sorry guys, I got text I gotta answer. But so what are some what other things could be cooking ingredients that are pretty versatile that you would see quite often? Maybe like egg, because sometimes you might need like egg wash or you need to dip. When you make, I don't know, fried chicken or fried anything, you usually do like uh, a wet batter and dry batter kind of situation. Olive oil and butter, yeah. Olive oil and butter. Instead of egg, I could say, I think that's how you call it, like dry wash, wet wash. Like, I'm trying to remember what so flour, that's exactly kind of what I'm thinking. Like, dry, like I'm trying to think of the terminology, because you got the dry and the wet. I forget what it's called. Dry batter? Dry batter versus wet batter. What could this be? Yeah, maybe we could just say, just for the sake, we could say flour or wet batter. What could the skinny chef do? High jump height. It's butter and drawn butter. Oh, hey, Tur. How's it going? How's it going? Thanks for joining. Yeah, right now we're doing because at work we put together, we're making Fighting Foodons the game over here. Maybe. Is Fighting Foodons a thing? I didn't even realize. Because, yeah, we're doing this exercise. At work, we have this thing called Design Paper of the Week. It's an initiative that I've been pushing. And this week, we have this prompt I found online for a design test. Basically trying to make a combat system with the prompt about a chef and having tools like cooking implements as weapons and cooking ingredients as companions. Oh, it's an old anime. Oh, I mean, Fighting Foodons is a good reference, I suppose. Let me look that up. Because of course that's a thing, you know. Oh yeah, the food pyramid. Didn't they change the food pyramid to like something else, like to a cafeteria tray or something? No, well, the initiative is really to every 2 weeks to have some sort of topic to talk about at work when it comes to just, I guess, general design. So it could be as specific as game design, it could be level design, it could be something else. And so, we either watch something ahead of time or we read an article ahead of time and then discuss it for an hour. But this week, I wanted to make things a little interesting and do some proposal like this where, we kind of think of combat systems with this prompt, and we just talk about it from there. Previously, we had one of the designers behind the revamped police system, Sasha. He was talking about some topics last time. We had some people from Phantom Liberty talk about some of the world building design stuff they did for Phantom Liberty. I forget the exact stuff that they talked about. It was like these certain enemies within Phantom Liberty in Dogtown that would they're not explicitly enemies or anything, but you know, they were, I get, not cyber psychos, but these people that were stalking you, and they would eventually prompt to fight you, but that you would never knew that they were enemies or anything. So we have, you know, sometimes inspiration hits, sometimes it doesn't when it comes to like talking about these topics, but yeah. I think it's a good initiative, but you know, sometimes it's hard to figure out what article to read or what topic to discuss and trying to going over that. So sometimes it's a hit or miss. Sometimes we delay it. Sometimes we don't. You dig it for show? Damn. Nice. So yeah. Other cooking implements, obviously we could have something like a blender. We could have things like, I don't know. Because like there's other I don't even know what counts explicitly as a cooking implement. I wouldn't say like an oven or a stovetop really counts as those things. So you have, based on what Google says, you have things like a cutting board, meat thermometer, kitchen scales, a ladle, colander, strainers, mixing bowls, spatulas. So frying pan does count. So maybe we can just do the suspension of disbelief and say if you're using a frying pan, you're cooking something. Frying pan, grill pan, knife sharpener, peeler, colander, grater. I think it's also interesting. But basically, how can we make something like? Do we really want the player character to have like all of these available to them? And you know, we have some sort of like radial wheel that changes. You know, you're currently equipped cooking implement, and you kind of have to just switch in between them. Or is there some sort of like explicit loadout that they have where we say, okay, I'm going to bring a frying pan, spatula, and a knife. Feels like there's some combo system waiting to happen when you're putting ingredients together to set up a big meal finisher or something. Yeah, that's kind of true. Yeah, so maybe that's basically how it can work. Where maybe similar to like a fighting game, maybe like Marvel vs. Capcom, where because I think you have like those tag team elements where maybe, you know, you go in, say you're, I guess let's say like, maybe let's say this, like the overall goal, combat goal. Let's say you have like a list of orders or meals with recipe lists. So, and your goal is to, you know, say for example, you have, you know, steak, we'll say medium rare steak, mashed potatoes, and I don't want to say gravy or anything. Let's just make it solids, and I don't know, steamed carrots or something, or just broccoli or something. Steamed broccoli. And so your goal is, you know, find these ingredients in the world, and these ingredients are enemies. So enemies are main ingredients. So you have like a steak monster or something. Steak monster. Maybe we can say like, potato hive creature. So you have like a bunch of little potatoes running around. And then like a broccoli dude. I think, like I said, I would say, I don't know if conquering or I would definitely say capturing the ingredients for sure. But how we can capture them is how we properly prepare them. So if you don't prepare it properly and you reach like the final preparedness stage of it, say you overcook the steak, or say you chop you use a knife and you accidentally cut the steak into multiple pieces, then you have to perform the cooking on all the pieces or something like that. Maybe that's enough. But yeah, again, accompanied by cooking ingredients. I'm not sure what other ingredients would make a lot of sense. I put steak monster twice. Broccoli guy. So how I'm thinking is, I don't know if there should be like different stages. I don't know. I don't know if I wanted it to be like turn-based combat or anything. But I imagine I like what your thought process is for like some sort of like combo system. But like it could happen on an individual encounter basis. So when you're fighting the steak monster, you have to like do these things in like a combination. Yeah, that's pretty much the idea. Like exactly like you said, you find these monsters, you prep them, and then you capture them. And then once you have all the things together, maybe we can have. I don't know if it should be as simple as like kind of like a checkbox of like, okay, get a medium rare steak, get steamed broccoli, get mashed potatoes. Maybe for each encounter, like you can only have let's say you can have up to 5 tools and the 2 companions, and you kind of know, like, I don't know if that would be interesting though. If you kind of know what your goal is, so say it's, you need to do medium rare steak, mashed potatoes, steamed broccoli. Do you then say, okay, I know for sure I need like, I don't know, a grater for the potatoes or knives for the potatoes. I need a tenderizer for the meat, frying pan to cook the meat. You kind of have to pick and choose which utensils you use, and then depending on the ingredient companions, you can like enhance these flavors. So you want to use butter inside of the frying pan to get more flavor as you're cooking the steak, and then you want to make sure you season everything at the end to like bring out the flavors even more, and then that will add to the overall rating at the end. Maybe. Sorry, give me just a second here. Yeah, unfortunately, this might be a short stream just because I got other stuff to do today, but this has been fun so far. The recipe system for the combat feels like it's nudging it towards an overcooked kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, hopefully less pressure. Because that game is chaotic. but in a good way, obviously. So maybe I can. So I have to make just some executive decisions on this design here. I kind of think there's something adjacent to, like, instead of damaging enemies in their health, what if you're cooking for them to reduce? If you're cooking for them to reduce their hunger, maybe. But yeah, how I'm seeing it is like the main ingredients is like who you're fighting. Yeah, like I don't know. Like again, yeah, like maybe you do have like these overlord god things that are requesting for meals, and you have to like, because I don't know how much of like how much time you would expect, like a time instead of time to kill, but like time to cook or time to prepare, we to be expecting for these things to be finished. Because like maybe we could have like that big black ghost creature from Spirited Away, the one that eats everything. That one's like demanding meals, and you have like the time pressure to prepare things. And if you prepare things incorrectly, it doesn't satisfy the hunger as much. And so when it reaches full hunger, you lose. And then the better meals you make, the more it lowers it. And if you can reach its zero, you clear the stage or something like that. Yeah, when you finish cooking them, they turn into a dish. Yeah, I think that's I'm more leaning in that direction, honestly. But yeah, I have to think. Let me at least get so 2 1-sentence theme proposals for the companions. So seasoning shelf, I think I'm just gonna say salt and pepper, just for simplicity purposes. Who cares about garlic powder and stuff like that? The ingredients might have resistance to tools that aren't appropriate too. That's fair. So, for example, if you try to use a like a meat grater against, not meat grater, just a normal grater against meat, it actually damages the meat and lowers its quality or something. And so if you mess up that and then you try to prepare it, the overall quality rating of it is lower because you kind of fucked it up with the meat grater. Yeah, exactly. Season the meat. Yeah, maybe like if you decide not to peel the potatoes for the mashed potatoes and you just decide to cut them and grate them, you'll still get mashed potatoes, but maybe the overall quality rating of it is like 4 out of 5 rather than 5 out of 5 because you didn't peel them first. And so that rating will dictate how much hunger is reduced for this customer, lingering customer god thing. That could work. So either the quality is lower or if there's any inherent time pressure. I would say there's a time pressure in that like this hunger bar is slowly increasing or something like that. And maybe we could have mechanics built in for that where, if you give like a 5-star quality thing, it prohibits the hunger meter from moving for like a minute. So you have like a minute of leeway before it starts slowly climbing up, something like that. So if there's inherent time pressure, just doing less damage would accomplish that too. Yeah. Okay. So let's add a sentence theme here. Salt and pepper. So seasons the individual. I was like, how would I imagine this? Like, so seasons the individual made ingredients to increase overall quality rating. Because I'm wondering, like, maybe you can also over season. So it's a one sentence theme. So seasons the individual main ingredients to increase the overall quality rating, but be careful not to under or over season. Seasoned individual is one of those 3 AM notes you put in your phone to remind yourself. Yeah, you wake up the next day, you're like, what the fuck did I just write? So yeah, salt and pepper I think works well. The other companions, so olive oil or butter, flour or wet batter. I think in the context of the potato, like say this whole theme here, we could say butter. And maybe you can like burn the butter, and that decreases the quality as well. So like maybe with like the frying pan, I don't know how you would kind of control the temperature with that. But yeah, you would add butter to like the mashed potatoes. So we can say enriches the flavor of the individual main ingredients, but be careful not to burn it, I guess. So I'm gonna call this guy Butterberry. And I'm going to call salt and pepper. I'm going to say salt and pepper. Conjoined. How do I spell conjoined? That is definitely not how you spell that, is that? Okay, cool. My written English is still not half bad. So conjoined twins. So I like that much. I definitely like the idea. I need to. Yeah, unfortunately, this is gonna be a very, very short stream. I have to go pick up a package and take care of some stuff. But in the final moment here, we know we want to we want to prepare a dish, choose appropriate cooking tools loadout. Find main ingredient. Enemy to prepare them. I would also like to see I would like to see these enemies have like attacks that kind of like explicitly go against the recipe you're following. So like maybe like the broccoli has like some slam attack that like ruins the structure of the broccoli. So if it reaches a certain threshold, it breaks and crumbles. So you have to like, I don't know, prevent it from doing that in certain ways to preserve the quality of the ingredient at certain stages. But I'll have to flesh this out a little bit later. The design paper thing is on Thursday, so I'll see if I can just kind of put it together. But we have the ideas. We got You know, we have a loadout of tools. We know the recipe. We know that we have to find these enemies in the world. We prepare them, give them back to the person requesting it, the god thing, satisfy the hunger, get a quality rating, and try to reach it down to 0 hunger, and then rinse and repeat. So I think that's a decent spot, honestly. So thanks, guys. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Casper. Thanks, Ture, for joining and talking and helping me think this out. I guess technically I cheated because I didn't do this by myself, but you know, it was a fun little exercise. It's a tiny little stream, unfortunately, but maybe we could do stuff like this every once in a while. So for anyone watching that isn't already following me here on Twitch, make sure to follow. For those watching on X or TikTok, make sure to follow me there, or you can follow me on YouTube, subscribe. So until then, thanks guys again for watching, and I'll see you hopefully next time.